Hey, good morning. September 26, 2024. I'm TC. This is MBRR Pod, Black Robe Regiment Podcast. Nikki, I see, is here already. Good morning, Nikki. Get all of the trifling business out of the way. Like, comment, share. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. If you enjoy the content and want to see me keep it going, think about joining as a member. How are you? Really appreciate you stopping in. Nikki and Sarah are already here this morning. We see the girls are the ones that are up early. Snarky. Damn, it ain't that early. It's 7:35, Snarky. I'm having a rough morning. I've got a tire that's low on air. I don't know which one. And my gauge just came on, and I'm like miles and miles away from any place where I can fuel up. Jugs, good morning. Got just a terrible text message this morning from my wonderful daughter telling me that their puppy got into rat poison last week, and they're pretty sure, and she's not doing well this morning, and she's home alone with the kids and the puppy, and the hubby's out on the road. So, hey, good morning, Fearborn. Thanks, Snarky. Yeah, that's why you're Snarky user, isn't it? It's not flat. It's low on air. There's something flat around here, Snarky. It's you. I didn't do this stream to bring you guys in to complain about my life. I don't know. It's just not. I know. I love that dog, and I don't want her to suffer. And she is my dog's buddy, even though he can't stand her by the time she's spent the entire day with us. But she also is a great rat, mouser. She's a big old cross lab, Staffordshire of some sort, and she's just a sweetheart. The grandkids love her, but they're farm kids basically, so they're used to death, dying, butchering, and all of that. So it's just, we're attached to our animals. If you guys didn't see last night, the cops stopped by. Oh wait, no, it was a possum that stopped by my place last night when I was going out to put the gals, the Freedom Flock, in for the night, and there's a possum stuck between the fence and a landscaping wall, and it got a lecture, so I put that short up last night, so you should go check that out. It's like it understood me. I yelled at it. Well, I didn't really yell at it. I was talking to it this time. It sounded like a redneck is what I sounded like. Oh yeah, he was definitely heading in for those chickens. So I like possums, but until they mess with my Freedom Flock. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with notifications, Jugs. I've been hearing that a lot. So before I get to the update on the story I was covering yesterday on my Drive Time Dialectical diatribe, I just wondering, everybody, that Long Island Audits was arrested yesterday unlawfully. And it was a it was a clear political move on the part of Nassau County out there, Long Island, out its neck of the woods. So between the political persecution of Chase Johnston getting convicted on Friday, the people coming out and defending the pedo and coming after me and telling me that I'm going to be the next one who goes down because I'm backing Chase and talking about the pedo that Chase busted, and angry vet getting convicted and facing 40 years. There we go. I hope you guys enjoyed talking amongst yourselves while that spinning wheel of death popped up for me. I'm sorry about that. Thought I had waited long enough to start this to be in a good spot. Clearly I wasn't. But anywho, yeah. So Flex was imprisoned. You know, you like him or love him or hate him. Chile was imprisoned. It was clearly a political maneuver by a judge and a jury. Or no, was it a judge in this case? I can't remember. Judge and a jury. I don't remember. But out in Las Vegas, they're, you know, Florida's passing all these. Florida's passed a law that now you have to be, if you're going to film police, you have to be 25 feet away from them or more. And basically, it's up to the discretion of the cop how far back he really wants you to be. 25 feet. If you're filming them in the course of their duties. So when the cop's on duty, you basically can't be more than 25 feet away from them if you're going to have a camera out and record what they're doing. Like, could you imagine that? You're just walking by a cop sitting at a stoplight within 25 feet of him, and he yells at you to stop filming or get back 25 feet. Then we had Samantha down in Bellevue this, spring. She's still facing, trial for standing in her own driveway or walking onto her own driveway when a cop was trespassing on her property, and she was only trying to help her autistic child. And I don't know, I'm just over it and frustrated. And so then last night, after I did my Drive Time Dialectic, I'm doing some more reading and looking around, and found a follow-up to the news report yesterday. So as I told you guys last week about another Minnesota State Patrol trooper who had an accident in Rochester, again, responding to another accident, and no coverage, none. There's been no updates from the RPD on that one yet. A week later, on what should be a pretty open and shut case, are they going to charge the other driver? Was the trooper at fault? I mean, this all should be settled by now. A week later, it should be settled, and yet we've got no information other than a trooper was involved and was responding to an accident, and the State Patrol is claiming that they had lights and sirens going. So there again, everybody says, like I said last night, don't rush to judgment. You never know. The trooper probably wasn't at fault. The person driving from the damage on the vehicles is very clearly the other person's fault, not the trooper's fault, and yada yada yada, and on and on and on. And so then yesterday we have a 4-car accident in Rochester, and I tell you about RPD Officer Mueller making a very clear-cut statement to the media on scene that the driver apparently was driving while reading a book, and that caused the accident. And then we got this lecture from Officer Mueller in his public statement that it's imperative that we remember their job is to keep us from, to keep us safe and prevent distracted driving, which means no reading a book, no eating in your car, remember that one, and no use of your cell phone. So in other words, those are the things they look for, I guess, for distracted driving, for hands-free driving. Well, it comes out shortly after, or I find out shortly after that the person that the cops falsely accused of reading while driving and therefore causing the accident, and remember, I said don't talk to cops. I don't care what the situation is, you don't talk to cops. You give them no information. The person that Officer Mueller falsely accused of driving and reading and thereby causing this 4-car pileup was having a medical condition and needed emergency medical assistance. I'm not making this up. This is what happened. It slandered this individual, accused them falsely of driving distracted, lectured the general public about all the things you're not supposed to do that constitute distracted driving or not hands-free driving. I think they need to come up with a better phrase than hands-free driving, by the way. And they like literally, this is a slanderous accusation that this person is the one that caused the accident through violating traffic codes. And I say all the time, I do think we should reserve judgment. I'm not saying that this trooper last week was definitely the cause of the accident. I'm not saying they are. I am saying the longer they go without telling us what actually happened, the more likely I am to believe it was the trooper's fault. But let's not rush to judgment. We need to make measured judgments. We need to make objective judgments. We need to make statements that are objectively fact-based. And right, snarky. It definitely didn't make it any better, yeah. Well, especially since he was responding to an accident where a subject fled on foot. Like, what's the emergency there? Is it commensurate, excuse me? Is it commensurate with the situation? Why are you running lights and sirens to a minor traffic collision where a person fled on foot? You've got the car. What do you need to do? Sooner or later, that person's going to come looking for their car. But what I don't like is law enforcement not releasing any information about one of their fellow Thin Blue Line buddies involved in an accident, and everybody rushing to judge the other person in this situation. And as many of you know, I cannot stand it when people refer to citizens and us as civilians and cops as not civilians. Cops are civilians too. So you've got two civilians, one in a uniform and one not in a uniform, and the non-uniform civilian is automatically adjudicated by the public as the guilty party, right? And everybody's willing to throw that judgment out there on this person involved with the trooper. And now you have law enforcement immediately releasing and smearing this person yesterday with this false allegation. Whoa. There's CRV. Can you not sideswipe me on Highway 6? we've got Snarky User and Fearborn talking about how bad Rochester is. And by the way, folks, if you don't have dash cams in your cars yet, I know that, and like, I got these at a time where I had a little extra money. So do not hear me like telling you to put yourself in a bad spot financially, but you folks need to get dash cams if you do not have them. And you need to get dash cams that are geo-located so that you can have, they're calibrated pretty much every time you turn them on. They sync up to the satellite, and they'll tell you your coordinates. They'll tell you how fast you're going. They, you know, and mine is a 3-channel, so I have in cab, I have front facing and rear facing, and they've given me a lot of content for the channel, as many of you know, but two, they are lifesavers. Yes, and they do track your speed. And if you do get pulled over, don't talk to the cops. And remember, in Minnesota, they can't ask you anymore, do you know why I pulled you over? It's literally against the law now in Minnesota for them to ask you, do you know why I pulled you over? Now, the ironic thing is about that law, there's no teeth. There's no penalty for them when they break that law, even if you have video of them asking you that. So I'm gonna have to look that law back up just so I can show you guys sometime in a in-studio video what it reads. Morning, everybody. I really appreciate everybody tuning in, but I'm nearly to work. I got a few more minutes yet, but it's very, very, very aggravating. Like, it's actually aggravating. I'm not annoyed. I'm aggravated that police are not, contrary to how we're used to seeing them interact with the public. And actually the way that many of them, I'd say the vast majority of them, 97% of them, act way up here when it comes to adjudicating your guilt or innocence. And they act like, because they are the law enforcement arm of the state, that if they accuse you of something, they can say that, here's this accusation, I can say whatever I want to say about you, and it's true because I'm a cop. And everybody knows that when a cop speaks publicly, take it easy, Nikki, have a good day. Everybody knows, they have this expectation, and cops know what the expectation is, and they love it, that when they speak about somebody, as it regards the law, breaking the law, and we'll lump traffic code into the law for the time being. Traffic codes are not laws. They're simply traffic codes. When they make a statement about a person and a situation, they know that the general public, the bootlicking public, is going to hear what they say, and they're going to take it at face value and run with it that this person's guilty. And we see this all the time. How many times have you seen comments on social media, or, you know, back before social media was prevalent, for those of you that are old like me, you would read comments in letters to the editor about people being accused of crimes, or hear in general conversation. get pulled over. Don't do illegal things. You won't get pulled over. Don't want to talk to cops. What, there's probably something wrong with you. And it's just constant. And that's a lot of what happened with Chase. That people hear about Chase's history, and they assume that because Sergeant Ben Schlegel of RPD is this fine, upstanding sergeant, that his charges that he filed against Chase, that he forwarded against Chase to Olmsted County Attorney Mark Ostrom, they must be true because Chase has got a criminal history, and therefore Chase is to not receive the benefit of the doubt, and we should give every officer the benefit of the doubt and assume that they're right. And so here we have this situation yesterday with this person who is experiencing apparently a severe enough medical incident that it causes them to lose control of their vehicle and send them to the hospital and, severely damage all these other vehicles and send other people to the hospital. And RPD's response to that is to blame the person suffering the medical incident and say that they were breaking the law. And when people, in fact, I know for a fact, reading on social media comments about this, people were going, shouldn't be driving distracted. So look at the damage you've done. But no comment now from anybody calling, there are a few of us, but calling out the police for smearing this person, for slandering this person and making a false accusation, which if I did that, if I called up law enforcement and said, that's not going to work. If I called up law enforcement and I said, hey, I know for a fact that this person just did this thing, you need to take care of this, and they go in and they investigate and they find out that I made a false report, I go to jail. I mean, I can be charged. I can do up to a year in jail for filing a false report. But this cop just blurts this out about this person, and there's no consequences. There's no repercussions. Now, the person wasn't charged, but it's still out there. It's still out there, and it's still got people commenting about it. TC here, a youngster. I'm going to be 54 for the members only live chat on Sunday. So yeah, I appreciate that, Jugs, but I am not a youngster by any stretch of the imagination, my dear one. So I'm kind of over it, and I thought, this video is not going to get many views. I understand, but I think that's why I do these dialectics, just because they're a way for me to vent my frustrations and bring you guys all along on my ranting rides. I'm just to the point where I look at these things and I'm like, you know what? F off. Just F off. I'm done. And 2 weeks ago, I did the last use of force review panel that I did with Joe Lanou and his night crew, or might have been the one before that even. I had made the comment that no longer should we just automatically give the benefit of the doubt to law enforcement. I think you always err on the side of the general public. You have to. That's the way it should be, but that's not the way we operate anymore. And we haven't operated that way for a long time. Putting on that badge, putting on that gun, getting in that vehicle, taking up that role does not grant you the benefit of the doubt. And it never should have, and it shouldn't anymore. What it should do is it should put you in a position of higher accountability. And it clearly doesn't, because Officer Mueller can smear and slander this person experiencing this medical situation, and there'll be no repercussions. He's just doing his job. And we still don't know anything about the trooper from last week. Is that accountability? Or is that protectionism and favoritism? It's protectionism and favoritism is what it is. And it's got to end. So I don't know if we're going to have another one of these between now and Sunday. But if you guys aren't channel members yet, please consider going down, finding that join button, and joining up. And then you too, or gift a membership so somebody else can join in, and they can join in on Sunday. And you can come in and be part of a behind-the-scenes conversation with TC, me, on Sunday for a live stream chat, and maybe even if you want to come in studio and talk to me on cam and ask me whatever you want. Ask me anything you want, whatever dark, abiding question, hard, to the roots of everything that's going on in my life type question. Whatever it is you've always wanted to ask, and now's your chance to ask it on Sunday. So until next time, wait a minute. And that is why we have the tyrants we do in our local law enforcement. Yep, exactly. For that matter, why are we content as a society to listen to their internal news releases? Exactly. Why are you up? I just got up. I'm up because I have to go to work, AVA. 1, no accountability. The buddy system. 3, lawless ability. 4, lying and hiding truth. And the list goes on and on. Yeah, precisely. So I really appreciate everybody tuning in, sharing this out, if you will. And if I don't talk to you guys before, I will have chicken live streams on Saturday and Sunday, and also the members only live chat stream on Sunday, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Until next time, my friends, be free. Sic Semper Tyrannis.